Dobrý den, vítejte u nového videa. Hello and welcome to my new video. This video is going to cover connectors, spojky in Czech. I haven't really talked about connectors, only about a few and in an isolated way. So I would like to introduce them in this very brief way. This is going to be an introductory video, and if you want, I can make a continuation which will be focused on specific groups. So because there are a lot of connectors, different types, in this video I simply want to show you some common ones here. And here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna look at a specific scenario. Imagine it's raining outside. Prší. It's raining. And what do you think? When it rains, you probably don't want to go out. So we will have these two ideas. It's raining and I don't feel like going out. And then we will play with these sentences. We will change them sometimes and we will connect them with different connectors to have different results or to express things slightly differently. Jdeme na to. Ahoj, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. So, what are connectors? They help us connect ideas. Of course, you could say one idea. I'm going to do this. I think it's a good idea. But that would not sound very intelligent. So we use these connectors that connects ideas. Sometimes we express contrast. Sometimes we unite these ideas. So I wrote these two statements. Prší, it's raining. Mně se nechce jít ven. I don't feel like going out. I wrote mně specifically in this form. I could also say nechce se mi jít ven, but this one will work better in this case. You emphasize mně, and I don't feel like going out. So these two ideas are separate, but we could connect them by a simple connector a. A means we connect two ideas. We unite ideas that are similar. Prší a mně se nechce jít ven. So imagine we erase this dot, we erase the capital letter and we put a lowercase here. Prší a mně se nechce jít ven. It's raining and I don't feel like going out. Prší a mně se nechce jít ven. So this is one very typical connector. A means and. We could also have a different connector. What if we want to express that this is the consequence of the rain? So we could say prší a tak se mi nechce jít ven. Prší, we would use a comma here. A tak would mean so. It's raining, so I don't want to go out. But here we have to make a modification. We are going to play with the word order because a tak counts as the first position and se, as you might remember, want to be in the second position. Prší a tak se mi. So we changed mně to mi. They're both the same case, but the other one was long form, the emphatic form, which can be at the beginning, and this one will be right after se. Prší a tak se mi nechce jít ven. It's raining and so I don't want to go out. You don't have to have a actually. You can just say prší, tak se mi nechce jít ven. That's fine too. A very, very similar connector would be a proto. A proto, which means and that's why I don't feel like going out. Or therefore, we could say. I think that's why it sounds better. Therefore is a little too formal. A proto is not formal. It's just neutral. Prší a proto se mi nechce jít ven. The word order here is fine because a proto is one unit and the next part is se and then mi. That's totally fine. This is the second position. Please reserve for these special candidates. I have a video about it too if you would like to practice this topic about the second position. So with this, we express the consequence. It's raining and therefore, that's why I don't want to go out. I don't feel like going out. Now we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to use because, which in Czech is protože. And it's more common to use it in the second part of the sentence. We explain the reason why we don't want to go out. So we would say, nechce se mi jít ven, protože prší. So it's better to change it. We have to start all over Nechce se mi jít ven. Notice how we change the word order here. Comma is very important. Nechce se mi jít ven. And then we are going to connect it with protože. Protože prší. The reason behind this is the rain. Nechce se mi jít ven, protože prší. So, a proto is the opposite. Proto is therefore. You would say prší a proto se mi nechce jít ven. That would be the result, the consequence. Or you turn it around and you say nechce se mi jít ven, protože prší. Because it's raining. You're explaining the reason. Now we are going to change it a little bit. The scenario is slightly different. I changed it for nice weather. Je hezky. The result is still the same. It's a nice weather and I don't feel like going out. So we are going to use a contrasting connector, which would be ale. Je hezky, ale mně se nechce jít ven. Ale and a are specific connectors that do not count as a factor when it comes to the second position. So this is totally fine. This word order set right here is fine. As if ale was not here. The same would be for a. Je hezky a mně se nechce jít ven. Or je hezky, ale mně se nechce jít ven. So this one means it's nice out, but I don't feel like going out. We write a comma here because we separate these two ideas. Now let's say although, which in Czech has many forms, but the most common for spoken Czech is i když. I když, even though. This is what we're gonna do. I když, we put it here at the beginning. I když je hezky, let's make this lowercase. I když je hezky, comma, mně se nechce jít ven. Even though it's nice, I don't feel like going out. Now we're going to change it again a little bit. You heard the forecast that said it was not gonna rain. So, v rádiu říkali, they said on the radio, it won't rain. What could we use to connect this? We could say that, and in Czech is že. V rádiu říkali, že nebude pršet. We put a comma here. V rádiu říkali, že, and we connect it here. V rádiu říkali, že nebude pršet. Že is used for reported speech. Very commonly, they said that something was gonna happen. Že means that, but remember, it's only when you say that someone said something, or when you have two clauses and you say, I think that, I know that, vím, že, or I hope that, doufám, že. Now imagine you want to say, I don't want it to rain. How could we say that? The first part is easy. Nechci, I don't want. We would actually say literally, I don't want so that it would rain. That sounds weird, but this is what we're gonna do. Nechci, and then we put this aby clause. Nechci, aby, and then you say pršelo. That's all. Nechci, aby pršelo. I don't want it to rain. Pršelo is the conditional form. Nechci, aby pršelo. Aby is used when you have a wish, you want something to happen or you don't want it to happen, or someone gives you a command and you use it in reported speech. You say, he told me to be quiet. Řekl mi, abych byla sticha. So it doesn't have to be only aby. Sometimes it's abych or abys. Ty. I have a video about this also. I don't want it to rain. Now we're gonna use either or, which in Czech is buď nebo. So we have two options and we use buď in one part, buď, pronounced as t, buď, and the other one is nebo. Nebo means or. You can use it by itself, but it's often used in pair when you give these two options. It's either gonna be this or that. So we could say, buď bude zítra pršet, koma, nebo nebude. That's simple. Buď bude zítra pršet, nebo nebude. It's either gonna rain tomorrow or it will not. Remember there is a comma too. Buď bude zítra pršet, nebo nebude. You could also say nebo ne. There are 5 more connectors that I want to show you. This one will be related to time. So for example, you want to say, I will go out once it stops raining. We will use the connector až. Až is once something will happen. I also had a video about it actually. So you could say půjdu ven, až přestane pršet. Přestane means stop. It will stop. Půjdu ven, až přestane pršet. I will go out once it stops raining. We use future tense here, or in this case, this is the perfective verb, so it's future. Až přestane pršet. You could express the same idea with the connector dokud, which I also covered. And you have to change the grammar a little bit. In English, you will say, I won't go out until it stops raining. But guess what? In Czech, you will say, I won't go out until it won't stop raining. It's until plus the negative as well. So watch what happens when we use dokud, which means until something won't happen. First, I am going to change the connector here. And what is gonna change here is this. Nepůjdu ven, dokud nepřestane pršet. I won't go out until it stops raining. Nepůjdu ven, dokud nepřestane pršet. We have to use it in the negative form. If you want more information about this, you can find it in my video. Now, I want to give you an example with the než. Než is something happened before. Měl jsem jít ven. I should have gone out. Než začalo pršet. I should have gone out before it started to rain. Měl jsem jít ven, než začalo pršet. Než is also covered in a video. Než is something happened before. Až is something happened once. Something else happened. A dokud gives us a condition that until something doesn't reach that, we are not going to do a certain activity. And finally, we're going to take a look at sentences that express a certain condition. So, for example, this one with když. Když means when or if in certain context. But here it would mean that every time it rains, for example, když prší, tak se mi nechce jít ven. When it rains, I don't feel like going out. I wrote two options. One has tak and the other one doesn't have it. Když prší, nechce se mi jít ven. They're both used. This one is more common in spoken Czech. We like to use tak, which means then in this case. So we are saying when it rains, then I don't feel like going out. Or you can say it without tak here. And you would notice the word order. We switch se is here because here it was on the second position. Here it's also on the second position. Now, if we use jestli, which is specifically if, so it gives us this condition in the future. Jestli, then we need future tense. Jestli bude pršet dál, zůstanu doma. If it continues to rain, I will stay at home. Jestli bude pršet dál, zůstanu doma. Notice we also have future tense in both parts. Jestli doesn't work like in English if you have to use the future tense if you refer to the future. And that's all. This is all from me. This was a quick excursion into these connectors. As you could see, I have several other videos that already covered some of these connectors. If there is any specific connector here or another one that I haven't mentioned that you think is important, let me know in the comments and I can make a separate video for it. But before I go, let's do an exercise, of course. In this exercise, we are going to have 10 sentences, and your task will be to complete them with specific connectors. Sometimes there are more options. We will take a look at the ones that are logical. I didn't include a translation for a purpose, so you have to think about the meaning. I only translated some words below in case you have a problem, but I will explain everything. Pause the video. Jdeme na to. Číslo 1. Chtěl jsem jet vlakem, ale ujel mi. I wanted to take the train, but I missed it. Ale ujel mi. Číslo 2. Musel jsem odejít, než skončila schůzka. I had to leave before the meeting finished. Musel jsem odejít, než skončila schůzka. Well, you could say also protože, but protože skončila schůzka, because the meeting finished. Or když skončila schůzka as well, when the meeting finished. Číslo 3. Zavolám ti, až dorazím do hotelu. I'll call you once I arrived in the hotel. You could also say než dorazím do hotelu. Maybe you need to give them a call before you get there. Než dorazím do hotelu. If you say když dorazím do hotelu, it would sound like if. As well as jestli dorazím do hotelu. That would be like I'll call you whether I make it to the hotel or not. So jestli and když is also possible. I'll call you if I make it to the hotel. Číslo 4. Here we have limited options. I když se jí to nebude líbit, řeknu jí pravdu. I když se jí to nebude líbit, řeknu jí pravdu. Or řeknu jí pravdu, i když se jí to nebude líbit. Číslo 5. Řekli mi, že zkouška je v pondělí. They told me that the exam will be on Monday. Číslo 6. Učím se, abych udělal zkoušku. Here we have abych. I'm studying to pass the exam. Číslo 7. Nepřišla jsem na oslavu, protože jsem byla nemocná. Číslo 8. Buď nebo, those are perfect, because we have to complete them in 2 places. Buď pojedeme na výlet, nebo zůstaneme doma. Buď nebo. We're either going to go for a trip or we'll stay at home. Číslo 9. Byl unavený a tak šel spát brzy. Or tak šel spát brzy. Or you could say a proto šel spát brzy. He was tired and therefore he went to bed early. A konečně číslo 10. Nebudeme jíst, dokud nepřijdou hosté. Dokud nepřijdou hosté, remember I told you that we would use a negative form here because we are waiting for a condition until something changes. Tak a to je všechno. Moc děkuju, že jste se dívali a uvidíme se zase za týden.